So hello and welcome back. Now we will highlight our button control code. The first thing you notice is our global variables are always at the top. And so once again, we have our motor connections, AN1, AN2, and PWMA, 13, 12, and 10. PWMB, bin 2, and bin 1 is 10, 9, and 8. And the buzzer will be on pin 11. We have to use pin 11 because that's a PWM pin, and also the tone function uses the timer that is on pin 11. Then we have 3 buttons at pins 5, 6, and 7, and 3 LEDs on pins 2, 3, and 4. Then we have some global variables just for moving the robot around, like robot speed, and I'm actually modifying this as we're talking because I am changing this for an event tomorrow, a 1-second wait, a turn time, and a backup time. And then Never Gonna Give You Up is our song that we play. So once again, here are the first 16 or so notes of Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down. At my event today, there was an 8-year-old singing that song. I guess he knew it from the commercial. No idea. So then we have our frequencies and our octaves. Now, once again, the setup function is the code that only runs once. So the only thing that we have in our setup function is we set the buttons to have an input pull up with a 10K resistor, so it's not floating. Then we declare our 3 LEDs as outputs. We declare the pins on our TB6612 motor controller as outputs. And then we declare the buzzer pin as an output. I always start the code by moving forward, turning on the LEDs, playing the buzzer, waiting 1 second, and turning them off. This is a good test for me for if there's a brownout condition or power is getting low on the robot. It's a very quick test for me to make sure all the LEDs, the motors, and the lights are working. And then for debugging purposes, I sometimes will have the serial monitor on because I read sensors to determine if they're giving errors or wired correctly. Now the loop function. This is the final code that we will go over. Touch sensor. The button is a touch sensor. So if the green button is pressed, I want the robot to move forward, wait a certain amount of time and stop, and then play a song. So this is where we play music when they press the green button. If the kiddos press the yellow button, the robot is going to spin for a certain amount of time and stop. And if they press the red button, the robot is going to reverse for a certain amount of time and stop. So I am modifying this because what I'm finding when I do this at the museum is the kiddos sometimes don't completely understand why the robot does not move more. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to remove this forward, and I am going to make the wait time longer before the robot stops moving so that they don't have to press so much in order to see the action. So the great thing about having a global variable is I'm going to go up to wait time, and now the wait time is going to change from 250 milliseconds to 1 second. So every time they press the button, it will move for 1 second, and then when it stops, they can move it again. Stay STEMtastic and come back for more.